Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the inaugural meeting of the board. I'd like to start off by reading up the policy on the recordings of the meeting. As for policy number 7, board and special meetings of the board may be streamed, live, archived, and accessed online. The board reserves at its sole discretion via motion at any meeting the right to not stream live or archive a meeting or a portion of a meeting. Further, the board reserves the right to edit any recorded portion of a meeting. At this point in time, I'd like to call the meeting at 7 o'clock. I would like to acknowledge that the Langley School District is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Matsqui, Kwantlen, Kaitsi, Semiahmoo First Nation. We gather here tonight in an understanding of the importance of Yayaso, Skekayuayas, working together, Natsamat and Latsamat, uniting ourselves with one mind and one heart to ensure we support and inspire all learners to reach their full potential. At this point, I'd like to introduce our trustee-elect. I'll start to my far right with Candy Ashdown. Next to her is Holly Dickinson. Next we have Charlie Fox. And we have Joel Neufeld. To my left, Sarah Bride. Tony Ward. And Marty Wilson. To my right is our Superintendent, Mel Gill. And I'm Brian Isley, the Secretary-Treasurer. I'd also like to welcome all of you that are here. We have lots of guests tonight. Just wanted to mention a few. We have our MLA, our MP, mayors of both the township and the city, as well as council. Our partner groups, we have Kwantlen First Nation chief and her family, and guests of all our trustee-elects, as well as everyone else that is comes tonight. So welcome to all of you. At this point in time, I'd like to call forward Claire June. She is a student at Langley Fine Arts, and she will lead us in the singing of O Canada.
Hello, my name is Claire June, and I'll be singing O Canada for you. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our lusty land. Count on crossing heartache bitter, is Savior stand up from. Toil swan and yearning obey, days stand beyond its rule. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Claire. The district is very thankful for our relationship with the Kwantlen Nation. This evening, we are honored to have Chief Marilyn Gabriel, Kevin Kelly, Michael Kelly, Dennis Leon, Michael Saul, Michelle Saul, Angela Bilderdu, Trisha Gabriel, and Cassandra Antone to start us off in a good way. At this point, I would like to ask you to come forward.
Well, see, I really want to thank the school board for respecting the land you're on. We do a lot of work for this for my wife, Stakwasan. My wife, Stakwasan, that's her traditional name. She's hereditary chief of the Kwantlen First Nation over 30 years for her people. She took over for her late father. He passed it down to her, and she's been chief a long time. Our family here that come and drum with us, this is what we do throughout the year. We always say to the people, whether it was last night or tonight, this is giving back our medicine to each and every one of you. They tell us their songs, it's not a performance, it's not a show, this is the way we pray. We always say to the people, maybe you're not feeling up to par tonight when we sing this song, you pray in your own way. Or maybe when you left home tonight, somebody wasn't feeling well in your home. This is when you pray for your family member, or you have a loved one that's in the hospital. This is when you pray. This is what our songs represent. I thank the school board for always respecting our wife's community. I can look around, we can look around the circle and we recognize a lot of faces, but we also see the new ones that are coming aboard tonight. This is why we come and do this work. We want our children in Kwantlen to be educated. We want them to be looked after the way they should be. We come to walk with you, stand with you, support you in whatever you're doing. I see both our mayors here and I hold my hands up to both of you. Why? Because I'm not the ones that are on council, because it shows your presence mean everything. I was told in the 90s when I worked for our people, the people see you when you're here, but they also see you when you're not. And I respect both of you for being here, and all our members, who you represent. I thank you for taking time. I talked to John, and it felt like we're in a marathon. I just seen it last night. Everywhere. You know what? We never say no, right, John? This is the way we work. I'm gonna let them carry on. I know my son and my wife as chief want to speak, but I'm so honored in my heart to be here, but also to be here with your families that stand and support you for what you're going to be carrying on. Well, I'll see you. Thank you.
ACM, CIA, I want to thank Swasselton for those beautiful words. Start the day off, the teachings of my elders, thanking my Chicho CM, my creator above me. Thanking the Kwam Ekwatha warriors before us, our strong, beautiful warriors. For the ones that don't understand, everything that we learn has been orally passed down generation to generation. Without these strong people, we wouldn't be standing here today. So we have to honor the past leadership and the past people that walked in these shoes before. Thank them, because without them, we wouldn't be here to share this beautiful medicine. We thank the, I want to hold my hands up to each and every one of you here. Congratulations. Our old ones always share with us all the time. The day you're born, the day you take your first breath in this world, you're born with a gift and a purpose to bring to this world. You've been chosen. Each and every single one of you has been chosen to sit in these very, very important seats. Because in your hands, we leave the most precious thing. Our future, our children, our youth. As a CM in our language, as a leader, she shares all the time. I do not sit here for myself. I sit here for the next 7 generations beyond. And I want you to think like that when you sit in these seats. Because there's going to be lots of children you're going to be taking care of. every child matters. Every child matters. When you walk in through those doors, the first thing you see is that crest. My auntie did that crest. 2 hands going like this. Your job, the teacher's job, is to make sure that you protect the shwali of our youth, the spirits of our youth. Nurture that gift, plant that seed, protect it, and you'll see beautiful things. The community is going to continue to grow beautiful. And that starts with the schools. The way that you educate them. The way that you take the time to go sit down with the children, just like how I've seen. Be there with them. They want to know that their voices matter too. Me and my dad sat in rooms with a bunch of youth that want to bring change as well. They need to be heard as well. They have a voice too. They know what's going on. But you sit here, not for yourself, but for all those children that walk into those schools. All those children that have dreams to bring into this world. That's why you sit there. And that's why you're chosen. When you wake up every day, share your gift. Share your truth. And that's what we want. Because once again, as our CM always shares, every time that we bring the principals, the board members, superintendent together every year for the beginning year, you guys get to see your children more than we do. So we need you to nurture those gifts as if they are at home. We want you to love them as if they are your own children and your own grandchildren. That's how I want you to think of that. Because one day they may be sitting in that place you are right now, wanting to make a change for the community, looking up to you. Don't be stingy with the gifts you have. Our old ones always shared that. Get taken away from you. We were here to welcome you to our land, but that's what I had in my heart as a youth to share with you how precious the gift of the medicine of our children are. My auntie, Helen, has been working in the schools for over 30 years. You know what she says those children are to her? Are her medicine. They're her medicine. The most purest thing in the world. That's what she shares. You have the most beautiful job. And the most important job. Shaping the future of our community. And nurturing those gifts. So that's the words I wanted to share in my heart with you. We want to do the welcome. We thank each and every one of you from the Langley School Board. We have a really, really good relationship with our Langley School Board. They're so respectful to our nation. They listen to us. Not just with their ears. They listen with their hearts. And we would do anything for you guys. But today, we're honoring you for all the work that you guys are doing, and you're going to continue to do. But remember, every day that you wake up, make sure you put that good energy into the work that you do. Because if you show up and you don't have that, the children can see that. They can read right through you. So I hold my hands up for you, for the gifts that you bring to this table, the voices and the changes that you're going to bring to our community. We're going to share a welcome song. The song, for the ones that don't know how to receive this medicine, the drum to us. I had a chance to sit down with my Uncle Stephen Point. And I said, Uncle Stephen, why are people so drawn to the drum? And he said, nephew, do you remember when you're in between worlds, the spirit and the physical world in your mom's womb? What did you hear? heartbeat. All of us in this room and everybody in Mother Earth can connect to this drum because we all have that heartbeat. But it's not only the heartbeat of all people that are here, it's also the heartbeat of our ancestors that used to walk this life, used to walk in this world. We're asking them for guidance. Our CM's asking them for those words to share. That's what she needs, is this prayer. So when I ask you to listen today, I ask you to listen much more than just with your ears. I ask you to listen with your ears, mind, and heart, and your eyes. If you listen with all 6 of those words will be part of your shwili, your spirit forever. And maybe someday down the line, when you need to share it with someone that's close to you, those teachings will come out. Or maybe when you need to rehear them, those teachings will come out. I ask you to please listen to all 6 of those because our CM was here and she leaves beautiful words. But we're going to share the welcome, and I thank my dear family, Brother Dennis, Sister Tricia, Michelle, my sister Michelle, my Auntie Ange, Cassandra, my mom, and my dad for being here today. Because our children mean everything to us. And I want you to know that. So we're going to welcome you to our traditional shared territory of Kwame, Casey, Samiamo, and Matsqui. Whenever you're welcome into our lullum, we always share a welcome song because once again, we don't know how far each and every one of you has traveled to join us here today. If that was close, if that was far, we need to ground you. So we're sharing this welcome song. It came from a beautiful man named Kelsey Charlie from Stehelis. He came down to our community from up in Harrison Hot Springs down to Fort Langley. He came to Fort Langley. We live on McMillan Island, just over the bridge on the right side on the island. We're surrounded by the Fraser River. He was walking with one of our archaeologists to the tip of the island. He heard waves bounce against the shore of our beautiful territory. He heard this song. He continued going forward to the tip of the island. He saw a log floating downstream. He saw that log spin around one time. He heard this prayer. He sat there and watched the log spin around 3 more times. And this is a prayer that he caught. But he knew that this wasn't meant for him to keep, so he brought it to our Siam Staposan. And he said, Staposan, whenever you welcome friends, family, or guests to your traditional territory, this is how you need to welcome them because this came from your traditional lands. So we're going to welcome you with a prayer. Remember, this is also medicine for each and every one of you here. As Salah Sultan has shared, take it in. Haisep Gasiam. Once again, we want to say thank you to the school board for allowing us to be here today to share our little bit of teachings and our medicine today.
CM, expected ones, family and friends, grandpas, grandmas, aunties, uncles, and they heard a little baby, a reminder to us why we're here.
Yes.
Thank you, baby. Also, two babies? Two babies, okay. And then there was a young man there, it looked like my grandson when he was younger. It's all these reminders we receive in an event. Why are we here? Why are we here tonight? We're here to celebrate. Celebrate. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we're getting celebrated on or anything. Congratulations. Beautiful lady. You as well. Shirley. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What I'm doing, I'm thanking them. We're trusting them. As you do as parents. We're entrusting them to do the best work. And working as you guys do. Working together with the city. Working together with the township. We all can do great things working together. And like my husband says, just give us a call. We will do anything for our children. We will fight for our children. I know that because we have the beautifulest workers looking after our children now. We have support workers who are our aunties and our uncles. I tell the older ones they have to be grandpa. Well, it takes the grandpa charge, but we bestowed it on them. We'll keep you two young for a few years. Mike and Whitney. But we've grown a friendship. I've grown to trust everyone in this room. Trust my friends. They know what we want for all our children. When we say all our children matter, we mean all the children matter. Every one of them that is sitting in the classroom. We don't know what any of their days are like to get them to school. We have beautiful people that have their eyes and ears, listening to the teachers, to the support workers, and how we get them to school without anybody knowing they had trouble getting there today. They just want to be regular children. And that's what they deserve. They don't want to be different. No one wants to be different. They want to be the same. They want to be children at school and forget about their worries at home. And then that's our part. Beautiful people like you. Beautiful people like you that'll go in the background and get things that they need. Support them. We don't say help and call them. We say support them. They're not broken. No one's broken. Just support them. It's a nicer word. Isn't it? It's a nicer word than help. And then feel like they're different. They feel like, oh, she didn't say that to them. It's me they said that. So we have to change our wording. And you have to get to know each child. Might be like a task you can't even embark on. You will change their little lives. You'll be the one looking after them, as my Auntie Helen says, they're our medicine. They're our most precious resource that we have, and we have to protect. And if you go in that room every day, or do your job every day, and you remember that, it's easy to do. Your job will be easy to do. Those little children have so much medicine, none of us realize it. They have so much medicine they give back to us each and every day. We should be honored. We should be honored. They need to be loved. They need to know, everyone needs to know they matter. They're respected and they belong. And each and every one of the schools and wherever they are, that's what they have to feel, that they belong there. They belong there and they can learn there any type of way. All different learners. All different learners. My son and husband are oral learners. I didn't even have a computer at my desk. I always ruin it. I always break it. We're honored to be here. We're wishing you well. And I know you're going to do some more good work. And again, we're here to support you. We're here. We have support workers that are beautiful and they're full of history, book of knowledge. That's what our elders are, knowledge keepers, record keepers, but so is the Aboriginal support workers. They've been here long enough to know each family. And these wonderful men know each family in the school district. And that's the way it should be. They all deserve the best. Each and every one of those beautiful little medicine children. So we're honored to be here. And we look forward to another day working with you. Another 4 years. So I thank you, everyone. Bless you.
Thank you so much for your beautiful words and sharing with us. I know every time I hear you speak, it's a gift, so thank you. At this point, we will now do the swearing in of our trustee-elect into office of trustees. At this point, I would like to welcome the Honorable Judge Harris, who will be conducting the swearing-in portion of the evening. As per section 58.1 of the School Act, the person elected or appointed to office must make a prescribed oath of office. We will be doing so tonight, starting with Candy Ashdown and proceeding alphabetically across the table. They will do the oath with the judge, and then they will be signing the oath. There will be a copy for the files and one officially for the two trustees to be able to take. So with that, I'll hand it over to Judge Harris.
Are you ready? Okay. Please repeat after me. I, Candace Ashdown, do solemnly affirm that.
I, Candace Ashdown, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
I have not, by myself or any other person,
I have not by myself or any other person
knowingly contravened the School Act
knowingly contravened the School Act,
respecting vote buying,
respecting vote buying,
intimidation,
intimidation,
or other election offenses
or other election offenses
in relation to my election as a trustee.
in relation to my election as a trustee.
I will abide by the School Act,
I will abide by the School Act,
and I will faithfully perform the
Right.
duties of my office,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters.
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in private matters, or in public matters, sorry.
Okay. I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
that relate to conflict of interest,
that relate to conflict of interest,
and in particular,
and in particular,
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure of pecuniary,
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure of pecuniary
and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
We're testing tongue twister ability here tonight as well. All right, so what I'm going to ask you to do is if you can sign both copies for me.
Sure.
Your pen.
Your pen.
Sorry, to be brief.
Sorry.
Am I giving, she's gonna take one copy? Yeah, okay, there you go. Holly Dickinson?
You're gonna have to read it twice.
I left it there for you to cheat on.
Thank you.
It's a lot to remember. I, Holly Dickinson, do solemnly affirm that
I, Holly Dickinson, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
I have not by myself or any other person
I have not by myself or any other person
knowingly contravened the School Act
knowingly contravened the School Act
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
in relation to my election as a trustee.
in relation to my election as a trustee.
I will abide by the School Act,
I will abide by the School Act,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters.
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters.
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act that relate to conflict of interest,
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act that relate to conflict of interest,
and in particular, I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
and in particular, I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in matter.
Yeah, Charlie Fox,
I think so.
come on down.
Can I have a copy of that?
Yes. It's a lot.
I know.
Especially at the end. I, Charlie Fox, do solemnly affirm that
I, Charlie Fox, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
I have not by myself or any other person
I have not by myself or any other person
knowingly contravened the School Act
knowingly contravened the School Act
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or any other election offenses
in relation to my election as a trustee.
in relation to my election as a trustee.
I will abide by the School Act,
I will abide by the School Act,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
in public matters.
in public matters.
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
that relate to conflict of interest,
that relate to conflict of interest,
and in particular,
and in particular,
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
in pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest.
So you sign both these.
Woo.
Yep.
Okay. I, Joel Neufeld, do solemnly affirm that
I, Joel Neufeld, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
I have not by myself or any other person
I have not by myself or any other person
knowingly contravened the School Act
knowingly contravened the School Act
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
in relation to my election as a trustee.
in relation to my election as a trustee.
I will abide by the School Act and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
I will abide by the School Act and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
in public matters.
in public matters.
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act that relate to conflict of interest
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act that relate to conflict of interest,
and in particular,
and in particular,
I will comply with the requirements relating to
I will comply with the requirements relating to
disclosure of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
relating to disclosure of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter. Thank you very much.
Right, Sergeant Rye. I, Sarjeet Rai, do solemnly affirm that
I, Sarjeet Rai, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
I have not, by myself or any other person,
I have not by myself or any other person
knowingly contravened the School Act
knowingly contravened the School Act
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
respecting vote buying, intimidation, and other election offenses
in relation to my election as a trustee.
in relation to my election as a trustee.
I will abide by the School Act and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
I will abide by the School Act and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
in public matters.
in public matters.
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
that relate to conflict of interest,
that relate to conflict of interest,
and in particular,
and in particular,
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
Good job.
Tony Moore. That's your cheat sheet. Yeah. Right? Okay. I, Tony Ward, do solemnly affirm that
I, Tony Ward, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
I have not by myself or any other person
I have not by myself or any other person
knowingly contravened the School Act,
knowingly contravened the School Act,
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
in relation to my election as a trustee.
in relation to my election as a trustee.
I will abide by the School Act,
I will abide by the School Act,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct
in public matters.
in public matters.
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
that relate to conflict of interest,
that relate to conflict of interest,
and in particular, I will comply with the requirements relating to,
and in particular, I will comply with the requirements relating to
deep breath for the tongue twister, disclosure of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
disclosure of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
Somebody get you to sign.
Good job, Lori.
Marty Wilson. There you go. Okay, you ready? I'm ready. Okay. I, Marty Wilson, do solemnly affirm that
I, Marty Wilson, do solemnly affirm that
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Langley School District
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
and meet trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act.
I have not by myself or any other person
I have not by myself or any other person
knowingly contravened the School Act
knowingly contravened the School Act
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses
respecting vote buying, intimidation, or any other offenses
in relation to my election as a trustee.
in my relation to my election as a trustee. I've lost my spot.
Okay. You're doing great.
Yeah.
I will abide by the School Act,
I will abide by the School Act,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office,
and will not allow any private interest
and will not allow any private interest
to influence my conduct in public matters.
to influence my conduct in public matters.
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
I will comply with the requirements of the School Act
that relate to conflict of interest,
that relate to conflict of interest,
and in particular,
and in particular,
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure
of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
Good job.
Congratulations, Dawn.
Congratulations to all our trustees and welcome to the Board of Education. At this point, we will, for policy 7, we will be taking nominations for the position of chairperson. And I would like to call our assistant superintendent forward to pass out the ballot. For our bylaw, it requires nominations to be had by top. Just for clarification, this is only for the position of chair, so just any nominations which you put on the ballot. We have two nominations. We have Candy Ashdown and Marty Wilson. At this point in time, I'd like to ask the two individuals if they will allow their names to stand. Candy?
I accept.
Trustee Wilson?
Thanks to my nominator, I accept the nomination, and I would like to ask if the chair would so graciously allow each candidate to have a minute to address the board with some remarks before they cast their votes, because I believe it would be beneficial since we haven't gotten to know each other.
I have no problems with that. If you want to take, say 5 minutes maximum for each of you, just do that. We'll start off with Marty, since it was, or Trustee Wilson, since it was your motion.
Great, thank you. I definitely don't have 5 minutes, so don't get too worried. After spending a bit of time looking through not only our own policies on the role of chair, but also looking at what makes a good chair in general, I feel I possess those qualities. The chair should be someone who can help with onboarding any new trustees and act as a mentor with first-hand knowledge of the business that was conducted in the prior term. I feel I have this quality. The chair should have extensive knowledge of Robert's Rules of Order and experience in chairing meetings. I feel I have this quality not only from my governance training and experience in chairing meetings from my last term on the school board, but from my several years as CUPE president and chairing hundreds of meetings in that role. The chair should be someone who is familiar with the people and procedures of the organization. I feel I possess this quality due to my time working in the Langley School District and the relationships I have developed with so many of the students, parents, teachers, support staff, principals, vice principals, each partner group, and of course, our district leadership team. Lastly, I feel that having been in the position of vice chair for the past 18 months has prepared me for moving to the role of chair. By its nature, any vice position, vice president, vice chair, etc., is created with a succession plan to prepare a person to move into the next role. I am hopeful that this board will give me the opportunity to show them what I am capable of. Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't come prepared with anything, as normally nominations we don't really speak to them, but I'm very thankful for the nomination for chairperson, and it's quite an honor actually to be asked by my fellow trustees. So I also feel that I have experience. I've served one term on the board as well as I've chaired many PAC meetings and before my time on the board. And and I do feel I have the experience as well, and feel that I can that I've formed lots of relationships with everybody on the board, and feel that I could do a great job as well as Trustee Wilson. So I look forward to seeing what we decide this evening. But I just want to thank you all, and I'm really looking forward to working with you. I've prepared some comments, but for the end, not for this portion. So thank you.
Ashdown. At this point, if I could have the assistant superintendent bring forward the deputy superintendent bring forward the ballots, and they will also act as the scrutineers. At this point, I'd like to announce the next chair of the Board of Education, Chair Ashton. Congratulations. At this point, I'd like to have you join us up at the front here, and I will now hand over chairing of the rest of the meeting to you.
Can I make a motion to destroy the ballot? Chair will do that.
Once you get up here and take over, we'll allow you to do that motion to do that.
I can do it. That's all right.
Good job, Dad.
Can I have a motion to destroy the ballots, please?
Move.
Second. All in favor? Thank you. All right, so now for the position of vice chairperson. As per board policy 7, nominations for vice chairperson will be done by ballot. Okay, we have 2 nominations for position of vice chairperson, Holly Dickinson and Marnie Wilson. Holly, will you allow your name to stand for vice chairperson? Marnie, will you allow your name to stand?
I will allow my name to stand, and again, if the chair would allow us to make 2 remarks, I believe it would be beneficial. I think this is on. Okay. Having been vice chair for the past 18 months, I feel that I know the role well and could again help with onboarding new trustees and providing familiarity and knowledge of the structure and processes, especially in this case, with having a new chair that will need assistance with process and knowledge of business that was conducted in the prior term and ongoing items. I am happy to offer my experience and serve in the role of vice chair if that is what this board decides. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't have anything planned. I had nothing planned or written for this. It is an honor to be nominated by my fellow trustees. I have 8-9 years experience working on a strata condo board and a large strata and dealing with a large budget. This is not a position that would be new to me, and I'm also willing to learn, and I also feel as though my experience as a teacher over the last 10 years will be a great asset to the board and to being a chair.
Okay, so now let's, please. Okay, I would like to congratulate our new vice chairperson, which is Holly Dickinson.
I can take my chair.
Well, I've got mine set up for you, It's okay. All he needs are tools.
She wasn't prepared for this.
I didn't know I had to move.
She wasn't prepared for this.
This wasn't in a script.
I just wanted to keep my mouth.
Can I have a motion to destroy the ballots, please? Moved by Charlie. Trustee Wilson, second. All in favor?
Oh, you can move those. That's why you want.
Okay, so we've reached almost the end of our evening, and now we'll each take some time for trustee comments. So maybe we'll start at the end with Trustee Wilson, if that's okay?
Great. I would like to acknowledge that today is National Aboriginal Veterans Day and express my gratitude to all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis who served and sacrificed so that Canada can be the free country we all enjoy today. Okay. Well, you're all going to need to put up with me for 4 more years. I want to start by thanking everyone who has supported me over the past 4 years and worked so hard to get me here for another term. Campaigning is hard, and without your support, I wouldn't be here. You know who you are, so thank you. I also want to thank all the other candidates who put their names forward and ran in this election, but who were not elected. I commend you on your efforts and know that you will go on to do great things. Although I knew with our new board configuration, the chances of being elected to chair or vice chair tonight were not in my favor, I chose to let my name stand because I felt that it was the right thing for this board. Those who have worked with me know this about me already, and to my new colleagues, you will learn this about me. My decisions are based on what I believe is best for our board, our district, and in the best interest of students. I also understand our governance model and realize that after any vote is passed, it becomes the will of the board, and I completely understand that and wish nothing but success to Chair Ashdown and Vice Chair Dickinson in their new roles. I am passionate about education and I feel like this term we will have our work cut out for us. Education is in a fragile state, not just provincially but globally. The shortage of teachers and support staff, the lack of funding, the mental health crisis, and in Langley in particular, the rapid growth and infrastructure issues are all happening at once. These issues will need our undivided attention and our advocacy at a provincial level. I am also passionate about communication and consultation, two areas that are key for public engagement. Parents, students, and partner groups must have equal access to this board. I am excited to work on increasing our interaction with the public so that we hear their needs and work together to address them. I want to actively seek solutions to our staffing shortages and work on improving resources for students. We need to increase supports for inclusion so that inclusion is meaningful for all students and violence in the classroom is reduced. I have heard this district refer to itself as the largest employer in Langley, and I believe that being the largest employer comes with a great deal of responsibility. We must ensure that the employees of this district feel respected and valued to ensure retention and create the best working environment possible. Lastly, I give you my commitment that I will advocate for the students of Langley School District to have the best learning environment possible so that they can achieve at the highest level. Thank you for honoring me with this privilege.
Hello everyone, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's this is quite overwhelming. I don't know how many people we had 4 years ago, but it was great, and thank you so much. So I don't really have anything majorly prepared, but I did want to thank Suzanne Perot, who ran this time, didn't get in, but I learned a lot from Suzanne, and as well as two other trustees, and Rod Ross, who was like a mentor as well, and didn't get in, but that's the way it goes. So I just want to thank them. Also wanted to thank Garrett Lockhart, who ran a really great campaign. Also Neil Turner, nice to meet him, and Stacy Wakeman, of course. So I want to thank them. All of them would offer be tremendous assets if they should choose to run a team. Also, I want to thank Trustee David Todd, who's in the audience here, I think, and I thank him for our many conversations and for being a mentor as well as former Trustee Shelley Colburn, who chose not to run this term and became a friend, and I learned a lot from her as well. I'd just like to thank my mom and my who's in the audience here, and my children who inspired me, and this one, and also want to thank my girlfriend Tara, who happens to be a teacher and keeps me in check when it comes to political pontifications, and encourages me to see where the rubber hits the road, and on the ground as educators, and that's nice to work with Holly as well, being an educator here. So also wanted to just say that I want to continue to serve for our students and parents. I want to be a voice of parents as well as staff and our community partners and stakeholders. And just want to say, if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm always available. And I just want to thank you for the opportunities to serve. And I was thinking about Chief Gabriel's comment about not helping but rather supporting. And so your comments always resonate as well as yours. And that will sit in my mind to support our stakeholders, support our children, and that they all matter. So, not supposed to be well, thank you. I'm looking forward to working with this board. I think this is going to be a great board. We've got lots of great people here with a wealth of knowledge and great experience. So I'm looking forward to working with everybody new and the existing trustees, and as well as our always fantastic staff. So thank you.
So good evening, friends, family, colleagues, and residents of the Township of Langley. Tonight I am before you as a newly elected trustee, and I am deeply grateful, honored, and humbled for this opportunity. Sorry. If you had told me a year ago that I would be standing here, I wouldn't have believed it, especially since I was not active in party politics. My drive to be someone that would make a positive difference as a trustee for the district was sparked for personal reasons, as a mother of 3 children. I have watched all my kids grow up and develop in the Langley school system. Along the way, I've met wonderful principals, teachers, and special education assistants. I can say without a doubt that these educators are true heroes in our community and have the best interest of our children at heart. The dedication and the perseverance of these individuals is extraordinary, especially given the challenges they face every day in this dynamic and complicated society we live in. Over the years, I have also experienced where the system is failing many of our children. Today, we face problems like lack of funding, access to resources, inadequate conflict resolution systems, and a lack of emphasis on the needs of diverse learners. That's just to name a few of them. So this is why I stepped up. I was tired of expressing my concerns and not having my voice be heard, so I stepped up to be the voice. A voice for myself, for other frustrated parents, and a voice for our kids. And I'm here to advocate for all of us. Getting here was a difficult battle, but one that I faced with immense support. Through the support of my friends and family, I am able to stand here before you as the first South Asian elected in the township of history. I could have not done this without the support and the encouragement of so many people who are important to me. Firstly, my husband, Roger. You believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. For that, I am forever grateful. Having a spouse who supports you even when they know it means their life will face new challenges and problems has been the cornerstone of my strength and determination through this process. My children have been so patient and understanding for the last several months. This is something that's completely out of character for them. They're mouths are hanging right now. They're going to say this about me. But it's their experience and stories that I relied upon to lift up my spirits during the times I doubted myself. Their happiness, well-being, and success is the driving force behind me. Rashaya, Dora, and Saya, you are the reason for my existence and motivation. To my mom, dad, grandparents, thank you for instilling in me deep faith and spirituality. My mom kept reminding me that this was God's plan and to have faith regardless of the outcome. To my uncle Sondio, I hope I have made you proud by carrying our family's long tradition of public service. Sanjay, Anshul, and the rest of the team of Regency, I can never repay your efforts. Your friendship and your love meant the world to me. During this campaign, I've gained many friends, some of whom have become family. AJ and Dr. Shima, your guidance and encouragement was amazing. Thank you for your support even while you were busy running your own campaign. You spent hours sharing your vast political knowledge with me, and it made all the difference. To His Worship, Mayor Woodward, you took a chance on me even though I didn't have a political background. That is something that I will never forget. I could not have asked for a better mentor and a friend. To the entire Contract with Langley team, you guys were amazing, and it was a pleasure of running with you guys. Dan Shield, I have no words to describe all that you have done for me. You are the glue that binds this team together. No one worked harder behind the scenes than you did, never asking for recognition or seeking a limelight. To all the volunteers, supporters, and voters, I am humbled by your faith in me, and I promise to not let you down. In closing, I would like to reaffirm to the parents of the Township of Langley that I will work tirelessly for the best interests of our children. The education of our youth is the most important factor in developing and maintaining a safe, productive, and successful community. And I will make my every decision with this goal in mind. Thank you.
is such a privilege, and I am so thankful to all of the voters who put their trust in me. As I was writing this, I had a bit of a chuckle because I was very cognizant of how many times I used the words thank you and honored. However, when attempting to use the thesaurus, as I would encourage my students to do when editing their own work, there are simply no synonyms that can adequately replace a good old-fashioned thank you. I want to thank the Quantum First Nation for coming. Holy crow, what a welcoming. I already feel like I'm at home with you guys, and I think that's probably your intention. And I can't wait to get to know all of you. I'd like to thank all the school board staff for planning and hosting this event tonight. I can't wait to get to know all of you, and I will apologize in advance for all the questions, because I'm going to have a lot as I run this new role. To the outgoing trustees, I'd like to acknowledge all of your hard work. Ron, Todd, Suzanne, and Shelley, you've undoubtedly left your mark on this district. And also thank you to all those that let their names stand in this election. It is not for the faint of heart. To my board members, I cannot wait to work with you guys. I think we have something really special here. I think there's a lot of diverse talents, and I think that we are going to do really well over the next 4 years. There are two educators who played an instrumental role in me becoming a teacher. I wouldn't be here today without them, and they're both Langley teachers. Ms. Dawn Tomlinson and Ms. Mademoiselle Madeline Walker. Both of these women were wholeheartedly committed to their students. They encouraged me to be authentic and embrace the quirks that are uniquely me. They made me feel heard and seen as a teacher, or as a child. And as a teacher, I want to emulate them by teaching with an open heart, focusing on making sure all of my students feel the same level of love and inspiration that they afforded me. And I hope to bring this spirit to the board. As a teacher, I'm thrilled to have been endorsed and supported by my fellow union brothers and sisters, to be supported by the LTA, QP, I'm starting to shake now. You guys all got me all emotional. And the New West District Labor Council, thank you for believing in me. To all those that helped with the campaign, the sign crew, those that babysat signs, door knocks, shared social media messages, and just generally helped me on my mission, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I had no idea that I had that many people that believed in me. I want to send a special thank you out to Dan, the Chimas, Joe, Paul, Megan, Red, Megan again, Denise, and Karen. I have no words to truly convey the gratitude that I have for all of your help. To the contract with Langley crew, AJ Chima, Councillors Van Popta, Martins, Bailey, Brent, and Fergie. The past several months have been a wild ride, and I'm so grateful to have done that with you. You taught me that politics can and should be more than jockeying for votes and power. You taught me that collaboration towards a shared vision is a noble cause. Joel, the peanut butter to my jelly. I'm so grateful to call you my friend. Sorry, the first South Asian. It's pretty rad, dude. It's an incredible, significant step in the continued diversification of the elected officials here in Langley. Eric, your worship, but more importantly, my friend. Thank you for putting this all together. It means the world. Rachel, who's not here tonight, I don't even know how to begin to thank you, so I'll leave you with this. I'm a stronger woman because of you and your support, and I'm honored to call you a friend. Dave, thank you for enduring my endless chatter about all things education and election. I appreciate you, and I'm so happy to have had you support me in this journey. My family, and I think the babies left. Those are my babies back there. To the family and friends who became family, I'm so grateful that you are here tonight. Daddy-O, Wade, Mary, George, and James, I love you all more than words. My mom's thinking I forgot her now. I want to acknowledge that it was only 100 or so years ago that some women, and only 60 years ago that all women were permitted to the right to vote. So to all the women that fought tirelessly for equality and made it possible for me to not only vote, but to also wear pants and become an elected official, I'm forever indebted to you. To my fierce women, those who taught me and encouraged me, and really made me learn how to be strong and tall and use my voice. That's my mom, my Auntie Sharon, and my Auntie Roberta. Thank you. And last but not least, it's not lost on me that my new title as trustee includes the word trust. I hope that over the next 4 years I can earn and maintain the trust of all the people in my community. I am deliberate in using the word community rather than stakeholder, as it's more personal. Tonight, as an elected official, I want to go beyond the legal oath and make you all a pinky promise that comes from my heart. I promise that I will do everything I can to be a sounding board, advocate, champion, and cheerleader for every child in our district. I acknowledge that I am a fallible human who will falter. However, I promise to own and amend my mistakes while affording the same opportunities to others. I promise to listen and encourage collaboration between us board members. And most importantly, I promise that my governance will be student-focused. Thank you.
Thank you to the Quantland for your words of wisdom. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll take them to heart. Appreciate it. I'm thankful that everybody else cried, because I'm usually the crier. I always say that tears are not a sign of weakness, but a sign of courage. So I'm looking forward to the next 4 years for sure. I'd like to recognize my wife Megan and daughter Brindley, who are in the back. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you to my family, many who are here, close friends and co-workers. To the contract team, Eric, Barb, Misty, Rob, Tim, AJ, Fergie, Sarb, and of course Holly. The township has spoken loud and clear that they believe in us and our priorities and have given us the ability to make them a reality. Truly exciting. I'd like to recognize Rod Ross, Suzanne Perot, David Todd, and Shelley Coburn. Thank you for your years of service to the school district. I cannot stress the dire situation we all know we are in and the mountains we have to climb. The Langleys are facing similar struggles that we are seeing across the province. Exponential population shift and growth with unbridled multifamily developments. The new families are coming in droves, and we have run out of room. Teachers and support staff are stressed, not supported in the classroom, and feel that there is no hope and no relief coming. Students are taking the brunt of these factors, and it is affecting their education. But I have hope that over the next 4 years, this board will be able to work together with staff, with mayor and council in both the township and the city, and also with our MLAs and MPs to get more schools, more staff, and more support for our students. Last but not least, I'd like to thank those that put their trust in me at the polls. Much like my day job as a firefighter, it is an honor and privilege to serve. Those that did not vote for me, I stand by my promise from the by-election 18 months ago. I will serve as a trustee for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to open with a little bit of a random remark, because at this point in time, I'm very glad I live in British Columbia. 12 hours ago, I didn't think I was going to make it tonight. I was in Saskatoon, dealing with WestJet and a snowstorm, and I thought, oh my, I'm going to have to make a phone call to Mal and say, Mal, you're doing it with one less on the team. But fortunately, I flew Flair Airlines today. That's an experience. I want to thank our Quantland friends tonight for coming along. We have actually a long relationship, because it's very appropriate that Marilyn's sitting in the front row. My wife used to teach many of the Gabriels, and she always said, keep them close, yeah. You know the mischievous ones, keep them close.
I'm watching you.
Anyway, that's for you, Michael. So tonight we gather as a new board and embark on a new journey. To my returning trustees, Trustee Ward, Trustee Wilson, welcome to the table. Back, and a special welcome to our new trustee members. It's great to have you on board. Candy as chair, Holly vice chair, Joel, and Sarb. welcome. And I do look forward to working with you. It's also nice to see so many other elected officials here tonight. Right, bright shiny faces, some returnees, excellent. Our partner groups, I'm looking forward to another 4 years working with you folks, so thank you. I also want to thank 2 individuals who supported me in my nomination. Cecilia, who was there she is, and past Superintendent Gordon Stewart for having the faith in me to sign my nominations for another term. I also want to thank the voters who supported me and elected me once again to this trustee position for the upcoming term, and the whole community, because the whole community is watching us, and the whole community is invested in the education of our children. So thank you to the community of Langley for once again supporting me. We have a big mandate. We have over 23,000 students, over 3,000 employees. It will challenge our ability of governance at this table. I'm up to the task, and I hope my 6 colleagues are as well. And I look forward to working with them to create a learning and educational environment that is first class, the best in the province. We offer the best programs, we offer the best opportunities for our students, and we're leaders in that. I want to take a minute to thank Trustee Coburn for her dedicated work over 2 terms in office, her commitment to the Vulnerable Student Center system, and her passion for public education. She will be missed. Trustee Todd, I think he's out there somewhere, thank you, for his role supporting inclusivity, equality, and his work in the system for trying to make everybody, every student, important. Suzanne Perot for her work in emergency preparedness, Indigenous education, and her advocacy for those students with learning challenges and needs. She was always there as their spokesperson. And lastly, to my friend and colleague, Rod Ross. He did 27 years of dedicated service and commitment to the role of school trustee in this district. That's a long, long time. He spoke from a perspective of history. He too is a teacher, but he spoke from a perspective of history, and it was always a learned perspective. His dedication and demonstration for his love for public education also rang through every time he raised his voice. Last thing, I want to thank my family. Why would a crazy old grandfather want to run at 72 years old? Well, my wife's not here tonight. I gave her a pass. She's off organizing a major community fundraising. And you know what? Community. That's what our family's about. So I gave her a pass. My daughter's here, and that little guy there. That's why I'm here. It's for them. It's their future. Trustee Wilson mentioned something, and I'm going to mention this. November 11th is just around the corner. My father spent 3.5 years in a prison homework camp. He instilled one thing in me: give back as long as you can. It was a journey for him. On Friday, I'll celebrate that journey. My journey isn't ended, and that's why I'm here. It's now time to hear one more introduction at you. But then it's time to get on with the work that we have to do for our community. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here at the inaugural meeting of the Langley Board of Education.
It's truly an honor this evening to once again be here as a trustee on this board. It's so nice to be back at this table. I want to first acknowledge our Indigenous communities within the Langley School District whose land we share, the Kwantlen, Katzie, Matsqui, and Semiahmoo First Nations. A special thank you to Chief Marilyn, Kevin, Michael, and your family for all being here and honoring us this evening. Thank you so much. Your kind, thoughtful, and inspiring words. I'm just so grateful for you all. Our community and school district is so fortunate to have Indigenous leaders like yourselves to teach and guide us all. Thank you. I want to take a minute to recognize all the candidates who ran in this election. Whether elected or not, you deserve recognition for your willingness to serve your community. Running for an elected position is not an easy decision, and campaigns can be hard, both emotionally and physically. Thank you for being passionate advocates for public education in Langley. This election, I truly believe that every candidate who ran in the election did so with the best intentions to ensure our students have the best education possible. I also want to offer a huge thank you to David Todd, Suzanne Perot, Rod Ross, and Shelley Coburn. Thank you for your service and dedication to this community and to this district. Thank you to David Todd for coming this evening. He's in the back, I saw. It means a lot that you're here, David. Back in 2011, I made the initial decision to run for the Board of Education when I was very unhappy with decisions being made by the current board. Despite months of pleading from students, parents, and all partner groups, the board made decisions that forever changed the history of this district. Those decisions not only affected my children, but all our students in city schools, as well as our partner groups. The decisions also affected our entire district as we ended up being in a $13 million deficit. That was motivation enough for me to run for trustee position in Langley City, and I was elected. I'm proud of the work that our previous board did in this district to ensure we never end up in the same place again. We paid off the deficit a year early, hired a brand new district leadership team, developed a much-needed long-term facilities plan, and formed liaison committees with both the township and the city. Our board made changes that are still in place today that I am proud to have been a part of. Making the decision to put my name forward for trustee might have come a little easier for me than it does for some. As I grew up, okay, now I'm going to get emotional. So, I brought my Kleenex, but I had to take some of this out because I knew it was going to be hard. So I grew up watching my mom, my role model, serve 12 years here at this table as trustee on the Langley Board of Education. Sorry. Sorry. Every time I talk about her, it does this to me. So, my mom was a passionate advocate of public education and ensuring equity across the board for all students. My mom was especially proud to be an advocate for and to be part of bringing the Aboriginal education program to this district. She absolutely loved her role as trustee, and she inspired me to do the same. Okay, wait. Sorry. I promise I won't cry the whole term. I still talk to you about my mom. She was the best. Okay. Okay, I would like to thank a few very special people in my life. I'm not to cry at this. First, I would like to thank my husband, John. You support me no matter what I decide to do. You are my rock. You encourage me, you defend me, you take care of me, and you love me unconditionally. Okay, to my two daughters, Taylor and Jordan, who are here this evening, thank you for always supporting me in what I set out to do, even though I may drive you crazy in elections. I'm so incredibly proud of you both. To my dad, thank you for always being my sounding board and unconditionally supporting me in whatever I decide to do, even if you don't always agree. I couldn't do any of this without all of you. I love you so much. I would also like to give a shout out to my other family who is here this evening, my mother-in-law Karen and my sister-in-law Lisa, I love you both, and thank you for always believing in me. Okay. All right, do the rest of this. To my dear friend Megan, I want to thank you for believing in me and for your support and encouragement all these years. I feel so lucky that we met all those years ago as concerned mothers signing up to be involved with DPAC. I was honored and so fortunate to sit on my first term as a trustee with you. I'm so proud of you now in your role as MLA for Langley East. I'm looking forward to this board working collaboratively with you, as well as with MLA Andrew Mercier, along with the BC government, to bring more awareness to the funding needs of our district, including the need for many more schools. I would also like to recognize our new city and township mayors and councillors, many of whom are with us this evening. I'm grateful you all took the time to join us. I look forward to this board working collaboratively with you in our joint liaison committees. As our communities continue to grow, we need to strengthen those relationships to ensure we plan for new schools and support for our students and families in our communities. To our partner groups, including DPAC, the LTA, QP 1260, and QP 1851, I look forward to working with you all. I want you to know that I value each one of you and what you bring to this district. I believe working together, we can achieve so much more than we can alone. To the district leadership team and staff, I also want to recognize you and your hard work and let you know that I believe this district is very fortunate to have some of the very best staff. A shout out as well to the New Westminster and District Labour Council for your endorsement and support of me. Your support as the central labour organization representing trade union members and workers' rights means more than I can explain. Last but not least, I want to recognize my fellow trustees who I am fortunate enough to be sitting at this table with. It truly is an honor to be back on this board and to be on the board with each one of you. Whether you're an incumbent trustee or new, you all come to the table with diverse experiences and have so much to offer this board. I'm confident we are going to have an incredible 4 years together. I'm sure we will all have our differences of opinion, but I believe coming to the table with different ideas and willingness of others to learn and grow is what makes the board healthy. I look forward to working collaboratively with all of you to make this district the absolute best it can be for our students, staff, and teachers. Finally, I would like to thank my fellow trustees for your trust in me and electing me as your chair. I'm humbled and honored, and I will not let you down. Sitting in this chair is a privilege that I do not take lightly. My vision for the Langley School District is an inclusive space that recognizes all types of learners, where their needs are met, and a place where children feel safe so they can thrive. I truly believe that a child's public education experience plays an essential role in forming who they will become as adults. It's time now that we've all been sworn in to get to work. We have so much to do. Let's make these 4 years the best ones that we can be proud of and make our district the lighthouse district of the province. Motion to adjourn the meeting, please. Oh, and actually, sorry, before I do that, I just want to invite guests to the reception in the atrium after the meeting, so please stay and join us. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Joel, seconded by Tony. Trustee, I should say more trustee. You vote. All in favor?
Oh, no, we're having too much fun.
Before everyone leaves, I'd like to honor our new trustees, the ones up in here, Royal. It was beautiful listening, having my family here, my cultural family, to hear from your mouth and your heart of what you're planning to do for the future, for our medicine, for our future leaders of our community. And we want to sing you an honor song. And we want to sing the honor song to the ones that stepped down. And we'd love you to come up here with your friends. And we'd love to sing you an honor song. So, there. Stand up with the honor song to our new trustees.
Hey!
Good job.
Thanks.
Good job, wow.
Yeah.